They're loading up a bazooka with billions and billions of dollars of cash and shooting it into a very specific corner of the market, which is...
We're back with you from Vegas at the Stansberry Alliance conference, and a lot of the investors were really excited about this topic today.
Went up, I think, 200% in a day.
AI stocks have been on fire this year.
I don't see these profit-driving forces slowing down. If anything, I see them accelerating.
Luke Lango with InvestorPlace shares 5 areas that are huge profit drivers for AI, plus 5 stocks you don't want to miss out on.
So if you can see what's coming here or what's around the corner, you could get ahead of potentially triple-digit moves within days or weeks.
Today we have Luke Lango with InvestorPlace here talking about AI, and this is what every investor is talking about right now. But we're looking at areas of AI that are actually getting profit. These are the profit-driving forces of AI. And you have 5 different stocks to share with us today, too. And I know that's what our viewers are excited about. But let's just start out with what's the first area of AI where we're seeing a lot of growth and profits and earnings?
Yeah, I would say the first profit-driving force of AI is what I'm calling the bazooka. And the bazooka is essentially the biggest companies in the world, the most powerful companies in the world. Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta, Oracle. They're loading up a bazooka with billions and billions of dollars of cash and shooting it into a very specific corner of the market, which is creating AI data centers. So that is a profit-driving force to me. It's like, get in that blast radius, right? You have this bazooka that's firing, I think estimated CapEx from those big dogs over the next 12 months is $500 billion. And it's expected to climb towards $1 trillion by 2028, 2029. Get in that blast radius, because that money flows into the companies that are providing components and supplies for creating these AI data centers. So get in that blast radius. That's the first profit-driving force, in my opinion, of the AI boom.
Yeah, that's a little bit of like the infrastructure, AI infrastructure that we've talked about. We've had this on the channel before too, of different stocks that are building AI out where all of this investment is going. You have a name for us, and I'm excited about this one. It's one we just barely talked about on the channel before. What's the stock in this area you want to share with our viewers today?
Yeah, so the stock that I really like here is Nebius Group, ticker is NBIS. I like to call them the Ferrari of AI cloud compute, because what you have is you have all these big AI data center operators. They're building these new data centers, but they're still supply short. They're still crunch, that the demand still exceeds the supply. So they need to go and find more anywhere they can find it. Now, Nebius is a smaller company that operates data centers, but very specific for AI. So when Amazon builds a data center or Microsoft builds a data center, it's got to be multi-purpose, because AI is part of what they do, but they also just service general cloud compute, not Nebius. Nebius is AI, AI, and AI, and a little bit more AI. That's all they do from the ground up. So they have these really specialized AI-only data centers, kind of like a Ferrari's specialized just to drive really fast and be a really cool car, right? Not to do these other things. That is what Nebius is for AI. That's what I like to call them, the Ferrari of cloud compute. That stock's been on fire. And I think it's a stock that'll continue to be on fire for the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question on this one. Is it's already seen so much growth.
Right.
How much more growth could it possibly go in the next year?
Oh, it's still a very small company relative to, I mean, if you look at Microsoft and Amazon and the valuation, or even CoreWeave, which is another name in this space, that's still multiples bigger than Nebius. Nebius was so small and so unknown that even though it's had this massive run, it is still really small and really unknown. And it is growing. I think last quarter revenues are up like 500% year over year. So I mean, when it's growing that quickly, there's a lot of runway ahead. And I think with the big addressable market they're going after and the growth that they're seeing, it's a stock that will continue to work really well, even though it's already been up a bunch.
Really great first area to talk about. Let's get on to that second profit-driving force behind AI right now.
Yeah. So the second profit-driving force is a byproduct of the first profit-driving force. The first profit-driving force is that they're building these massive AI data centers. The second profit-driving force is that you need energy to power these data centers. And that creates what I call the crunch, or a massive supply side crunch on energy, that the grid's already strained. We already don't have enough power just to supply America without all of these massive AI data centers. Now you put in all these new AI data centers, $500 billion per year worth of new AI data centers, that creates a massive strain on the grid. I think there's an estimate out there from Bank of America that by 2028, so just 3 years away, we're going to have a 36 gigawatt shortage of energy on the US grid. Whoever fills that is going to be able to say, they can demand whatever price they want per gigawatt. If they fill that, it's like, okay, yeah, give us an infinite amount of money and then we'll fill it. Those are companies that are going to have a lot of success, see a lot of profit growth over the next several years.
Yeah, it's very clear the problem is there, and there's these companies that are looking to find an answer to that problem.
Right.
I think you're very right that when they do find that answer, they're going to have a lot of profit coming for them. So let's get into the company that you have that you think could be the answer to that problem.
Yes, I think the big winner here, the lottery ticket here, is Oklo. OKLO. Now, they're a nanoreactor company, nuclear nanoreactor. I think nuclear is the best energy for AI data centers because it's clean 24/7, very efficient, very cheap once built. So I think it's the best. But big reactors take forever to build, and we don't have forever. A big reactor takes 10 years. I just said by 2028, we're going to be 36 gigawatts short. That's 3 years. We can't wait 10 years for big reactors to come online. But a nanoreactor, what Oklo is building, they're about a tenth the size, maybe 12 to 24 months to get one up and running, from shovel and ground to actually producing energy. All of a sudden, that makes a lot of sense. The way I think the world's going to evolve over the next several years is you're going to build a data center, then you're going to build a nanoreactor right next to it. Then you build a data center, then you build a nanoreactor, and a data center, and a nanoreactor. So as opposed to waiting 10 years to have this one massive reactor, you just build a bunch of nanos. And those nanos get up and running in 12 months, data centers up and running in 12 months, boom, perfect marriage. Oklo is the best provider of this, not to mention Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, used to be the chairman at Oklo. And he only stepped down very amicably because he wanted that company to win lots of data center contracts, not just data center contracts with OpenAI.
That's a really interesting detail for this stock. I think one thing to talk about with Oklo is this concept proven? Are they still in that research and development phase, or are they rolling out these reactors right now?
They've broken ground on their first nanoreactor in Idaho, so they are up and running. And U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright said that he wants 3 of these nanoreactors operational, fully operational by July 4th, 2026. So that's less than a year away now.
Yeah.
So we have, broke ground, shovel is in dirt, they're building, and within 9 months, we should see them producing power.
Yeah, so once that concept is proven, once this center is up and running, we see that it's working, more contracts, more agreements start to roll in for this company. Will we see the stock continue to grow? Because Oklo's been on fire. It's grown so much so far.
Yeah, no, it's much like Nebius, right? It's a stock that's been on a great run. But one of my theories right now is that you got to let your winners run. The horses that have been the fastest horses over the last 3 years are because they've been at the epicenter of these profit-driving forces. I don't see these profit-driving forces slowing down. If anything, I see them accelerating over the next 12 to 24 months. So what was the fastest horse will remain the fastest horse, in my opinion. When you look at companies like Oklo or Nebius, yes, they're up a lot, but again, they're really small compared to what they could be. If Oklo does fill the crunch, as I call it, they could become the energy backbone of AI. That's not worth $100 billion. That's worth $1 trillion. Right? That's worth a lot of money. So again, it's a lottery ticket that I think could keep on paying.
Yeah, still early for both of these names that you shared so far.
Yeah.
Really great conversation. Let's get on to that third point, that other profit-driving force of AI.
Yeah, so this is where I call it the resources. And it's where the White House is actually making strategic investments right now. So I'm sure you're aware, and all our viewers are aware, that Trump and company have started to invest in AI firms, right? They've started, MP was first, the rare earths miner, then Intel, then Trilogy Metals, and Lithium Americas. So they have 4 companies now they've invested in. What's the commonality? Well, Intel, a little bit of an odd bird, but the other 3 are all resource plays. Because as it turns out, AI chips, AI devices, AI software, data centers, whatever it is, they require a lot of raw resources. And most of those raw resources right now are coming from China, which is a problem because that's our biggest competitor in the AI race, right? So you don't want to rely on your biggest competitor for most of your resources to build the thing you're competing with them. From that perspective, I think Trump correctly realizes, and I think we'll continue to push on this, we need to build a national domestic supply chain for AI raw resources. And so I don't think they're done at 4. I like to call it the president's portfolio. It has 4 right now. I think it's going to go to 10 or 15. And I think that there are many more stocks that you could sort of front run here that could have some massive rallies. I mean, look at what these stocks have done. Intel, boring old Intel, went up 80-90% in like 2 months. MP jumped 200% in 2 months. Trilogy Metals went up, I think, 200% in a day. So if you can see what's coming here or what's around the corner, you could get ahead of potentially triple-digit moves within days or weeks.
Yeah, there's so many triple-digit moves happening in this sector specifically.
Right.
The metal sector is crazy right now. What stock do you have for us in this sector?
Yes, I would say if I had to guess who's going to be next, USA Rare Earths. USAR is the ticker, because rare earths are the most important part of the AI value chain, especially when it comes to humanoid robots and physical AI and those devices, which I think are really, really important. Rare earths are everything, because rare earths go into magnets, and magnets are what you need to get those things to work. So rare earths are something the White House is focused on. They already got a stake in MP, but they need more, because we're going up against China, who controls 90% of the rare earths market. One investment in the US is not going to cut it. You need 2 or 3 or 4. Who's next in line after MP? It's USAR. They're the next biggest rare earths miner that actually has a project in the United States. It's going to make magnets from that. That's a company that I think is going to win a big investment from Trump & Co.
This is a really good look ahead, because these ones have seen so much growth. To see the next name that could see even more growth, and it happened so quickly, like you said.
Overnight almost, yeah.
Genuinely. All right, Luke, very interesting conversation. Again, we're moving on to that fourth point, just to keep it flowing a little bit. What's that next area of AI profit drivers?
Yeah, so this is the application layer, where we actually take, so we build these massive data centers, now we have power for them, we have resources for them. Why are we doing this? So we can create AI software and services that actually boost our productivity, that actually make us more efficient, that improve the quality of our lives. So that's the application layer. That's where there's a lot of profit growth happening. I think that there's a lot of companies here that are doing really innovative things, whether it's using AI to automate taxes, or using AI to automate movie production or photo editing or things like that. These are value additive things to society, and you're starting to see services, real services, use AI to create a lot of value for companies and people.
Yeah, these are the ones that are making AI useful, making AI profitable, right?
Yeah.
There's so many names that we could look at here, and I know there are some names we've seen already skyrocket because they've found really useful ways to make AI profitable for their company. What is the one name that you've picked out for us today?
Yeah, so the company that I like the most in the application layer right now is Tempus AI, ticker's TEM. We liked Palantir for a very, very long time, but that was one that I think it is now really big. You know, Nebius and Oklo, they're still pretty small. Palantir is actually really big now. We still like it. I think it's a long-term winner, but I don't think it has that 5x, 6x, 7x high torque upside. Tempus AI to me does. I think healthcare AI is the last undervalued and undiscovered corner of the AI boom. And those stocks are starting to wake up. There's a few names in there that have really gone on big rallies over the last few weeks, and the one leading the charge that has the most upside potential, in our opinion, is Tempus AI. I think they have a really good team. They're creating personalized healthcare solutions using AI. They're teamed up with Mayo Clinic and other big healthcare providers out there. Healthcare is going to change because of AI, and I think Tempus is going to lead that charge.
Yeah, it's a very similar question. Tempus AI has come up before on the channel because it had such huge jumps. It's gone up quite a bit. We're seeing some volatility in there. But do you think this is just the beginning for the usefulness of a company like Tempus AI? Is there going to be a lot more demand and growth in this company?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe that. Like I said, healthcare is about to change. Healthcare sucks right now, and it needs to get better. And AI is the way for it to get better. And Tempus is partnering with the biggest healthcare providers out there to use AI to improve healthcare. So we have personalized healthcare. So that's the big thing now, is personalized healthcare. Not one size fits all. No, one size fits you, one size fits me, one size fits per person. Tempus has the technology to enable that. That's going to change everything. And so by changing everything in healthcare, which is a massive industry, Tempus AI is going to make a lot of money. They're going to make a lot of profits from that. So that stock, I think there's been a technical ceiling of about $100 on it. It keeps knocking on that, right? And it's creating higher lows. We call that an ascending triangle formation. I think it's about to break above 100, and that's going to be the start of a really big rally for that stock towards, maybe $200 or $300.
A good future outlook for this one. One last question on Tempus AI before we move on. Is it's an area of healthcare, and healthcare, and actually several of these areas we talked about, regulation tends to be a part of that. And sometimes healthcare moves slower because of that regulation and trying to get through those different barriers. Do you see that being a slowdown for Tempus AI, or is healthcare starting to pick up with the rapid growth of AI?
I think we're seeing this White House cut red tape. I remember one of the first things they did was they cut red tape for using AI to develop new drugs. And then there was another order where using AI to test drugs as opposed to like pet tests or whatever it may be, right? So they're cutting red tape. And I think in cutting red tape, they're removing a lot of the obstacles to supercharge growth for Tempus AI. Yes, there are going to be regulatory hurdles, and there should still be. It's healthcare. But versus a couple years ago, what they're going to face over the next few years is going to be dramatically lower, and therefore allow for exponential growth at Tempus.
A really good point on this one. Let's get to that fifth and final area of AI where we're seeing a lot of profit growth and drivers right now.
That's going to be my favorite, which I call the embodiment profit force, or the physical AI wave. And this is when AI gets physical. This is when AI comes into the real world, embeds itself via self-driving cars, via humanoid robots, warehouse automation, all that good stuff. We are starting to see that, okay? There's 1 million robots working in Amazon warehouses. Walmart's automating all of their warehouses with symbiotic technology. You're seeing humanoid robots in China do very useful things. Actually, I was just at a conference about a month or two ago, and I was fake boxing with the little humanoid robot, a Unitree robot from China. Self-driving cars are everywhere. Waymo's obviously huge in Phoenix, huge in San Francisco, Los Angeles, expanding to new cities. So we're seeing a lot of growth in all this physical AI stuff, and I think that's a big value unlock, because the internet, as great as it is, didn't become what it is today until the iPhone, right? Until you put a physical internet device in the palm of everyone's hand, allowing them to take internet wherever they went. That was the aha moment for the internet. There was growth before that, but then there was exponential growth after that. Same with AI. I think we have all these cool services and whatnot, but when we get that true physical embodiment of AI to manifest itself in the real world, that's going to be the aha moment, an inflection point for exponential growth.
Yeah, and I think this is an area where we're seeing this growth happening right now. So many investors out there, especially you've been around, this all still sounds like science fiction,
right?
But it's all coming, and not a long ways off either. I think that's another thing to think
about. No, the self-driving cars are here. And I live in Phoenix, Arizona. They are everywhere. Everywhere. I cannot go out without seeing a self-driving car. Warehouse automation, everybody's automating now. You go to a Walmart warehouse, go to a Target warehouse, go to Amazon, they're all automated. Humanoid robots, like I said, they're everywhere in China. I boxed with one in LA a couple months ago. Over at a diner I believe in Santa Monica, Tesla opened a diner, and they have the Optimus robot there serving popcorn. So physical AI has arrived.
We've had some really great recent videos talking about different stocks in the robotics sector. So some really interesting tickers there. But I think the one that you have for us today is an important one not to forget in robotics. So let's go to the stock that you want to share with us.
Yeah, I would say, last time we sat down and talked, we talked about the potential of Tesla in robotics with its Optimus project. Since then, the stock has really done very well despite sluggish EV sales, because of this Optimus growth, this Optimus optimism, if you will. And I remain very optimistic about the Optimus project. I think that Elon has put together a very fantastic team. I think they have the resources to do it. I think Elon is pumping those resources appropriately into this. And I think with the White House's investment in MP, think about MP Materials. That's a humanoid robots play. Because rare earths go into magnets, magnets go into actuators, actuators are everywhere in a humanoid robot. So when you look at what the White House is actually signaling with that MP investment is we want humanoid robots. It's the one place where China is lapping America right now in AI, is humanoid robots. That's where we need to play catch up the fastest. Elon Musk and Trump, we know that, it's on again, off again, but it's on again right now. And they always come back together. And so I do think that relationship is going to boost the Optimus project. You've seen NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang really talk positively about it as well. They're the chip core of humanoid robots. So between Jensen's support, Trump's support, Elon's vision, the resources, the team, the proof point with the Optimus robot serving popcorn at the Tesla diner, between all that, it gives me a lot of optimism that Optimus will be a huge home run success for Tesla.
Yeah, so much still to come for Tesla. And I know that you and your team at InvestorPlace have been doing a lot of research into not only Tesla and the growth that this company is having, but on the other companies that could benefit from the Optimus project. If you want to learn more about that right now, we have a QR code you can scan right now, or a link you can go to in the description to get Luke's full research and some more stock tickers that are also going to benefit alongside Tesla's Optimus growth in the project that they have there. So again, scan the QR code, click the link in the description. You don't want to miss this research and some other really interesting names. Luke, you've already given us so many great stock tickers to talk about today. Thank you for this conversation.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love talking about this stuff. And there's still, like you said, a lot of these stocks have run up a lot, but there's still a lot of money to be made in stocks that really have a bright future in these 5 profit-driving forces.
All right, very good. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. Are you in any of these 5 names? Have you already seen growth? And do you think there's still a long runway ahead for all 5 of the names that we talked about today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks again for watching, everyone. And as always, happy investing.